Hi everybody, this is Tutorials, and today we are going to create this vector infographic, road infographic inside Adobe Illustrator, and this tutorial probably can divide it into three separate parts. First of all, I'm gonna show you how to create this road mastering appearance panel like a pro. Then we are going to enhance this road with the shadows and adding some volume, and then gonna build these pointers, and last I'm gonna show you where to grab all of these map images, how to import it, them vector image inside Adobe Illustrator. So first thing first, let's start with a new document. Go to File, New. I'm gonna size this document with 1920 and 1080 and click OK. Make sure that your unit is pixels. And as always, first my step is to turn off the align to pixel grid. My next step, I'm gonna increase the row size of my layers so everybody can see them easily. I'm gonna go to Panel Options, and here I wanna set my layer size to 70 pixels. And click OK. So let's start with something that I'm not using so often. It's curvature tool. I'm gonna make first my point outside my canvas. I'm gonna create it here. Then I'm gonna create another point on the top left of my artboard. Then I'm gonna go downwards and create another point. Place it here and maybe make a little adjustment like so. Then I'm gonna put the point on the top right side of my artboard, and next step I'm gonna go beyond my artboard and place the point like so. So we have all of the points. Here we have this wavy line. It's probably need an adjustment a little bit, but first of all, let's set a stroke. And to set a stroke, we need to go to the appearance panel. If you can find your appearance panel, go to the Windows appearance or Shift F6, and I'm gonna grab it here. So now it has 1 point black stroke, and I want to change this stroke. So first of all, I'm gonna change the color of the stroke to the very dark blue here. This point is 383E49 and click OK. Then I'm gonna increase this the weight of this stroke to 275 points and click OK. Let me select this because I think I didn't select my path. I'm sorry for that. First of all, make this very dark to see 323A, very dark blue, and it's also referent to asphalt color. We need to increase the stroke weight to 275 points, like so. So we have this kind of stroke. We're gonna adjust the Bezier curves after a while, but now I want to click on this add a new stroke icon on the bottom left and create a new stroke, and I'm gonna set the stroke weight to 275 points, 265 points, and I'm gonna adjust and set this stroke color to this value on my swatches panel. Just click on this chevron icon and you can see the swatches. Click OK and we have this stroke. Next I'm gonna select my dark blue stroke and click on this add new stroke, and then I'm gonna drag this on my top, and I'm probably set this stroke weight to around 258 points. So it depends on the weight you want to give to this side orange stroke. If you want them to be more thicker, you need to decrease the value of your third stroke, setting it to around 250 or so. If you want to make it more thinner, these lines, you need to set the value to around 260 or even 261. I'm happy with this 258 value, and my last stroke would be white. Click on this icon, add new stroke, and set the stroke to very small weight, relatively small weight, to 20 points, and click OK. And here I want to set the stroke color to white. First of all, as you can see, we have this nice stroke. Then I want to visit stroke panel. Click here to open the stroke panel, and here I want to set the dashed line first of all, and I want to set the 60 points dash value and 60 points gap value. So it's produced this result. So we have our road. We can return my appearance to the place. And I want to adjust a little bit the bezier curves of my layers. So, like so, maybe I grab this, select these points. I do all the work with my direct selection tool and probably move it here, like so. Probably I want to move this point like so. I want to move this point a little bit down. So at this point I want to a little bit speed up my tutorial. So we have our road, we created this with appearance panel, and we are ready to the next step. So first of all, click on this little teeny icon to create a new layer. Then on this layer, move this layer to the bottom, and we need to select this road and go to the object and path and outline stroke. If you want this layer to be some kind of adjustable and you can editable, you can make a copy, because when you outline your stroke, when you create outlines, it's no more editable at all. So we have this kind of illustration. I think we need to also expand appearance. So after you create these outlines, I want you to make a copy of this artwork and paste it in your layer below. So Ctrl C, Ctrl F to create a copy, then drag on this small tiny rectangle here to move it on your layer, and then I want to I think I move both of them. Actually, I want to just simply click on this free space between my airball and hover icon to lock this layer, and I want to make adjustments to my copy that's sitting beneath. So first of all, go to Pathfinder panel. If you can find your Pathfinder panel, go to the Windows and Pathfinder. Next, click on this first icon, Unite. And let me toggle the visibility of my original layer. We achieve this kind of line here, united white line, and we need to recolor it. So grab this line and holding Shift key, drag it to the bottom, drag it downwards. Then I want to grab my airdropper tool and sample the color from this dark blue color from my road. Then I want to go to my clicking this color wheel icon to adjust the color of my shadow, this solid shadow. call this shadow, and I want to increase the saturation to around 5% and decrease the brightness to around let's say 5%. Okay, and we achieve this kind of result. So we have our shadow. Let me with my arrow keys bring it a little bit on top to decrease the thickness of the shadow. And next I want to create a real shadow that is casting here on this free space. And I want to make this with blend, and to make a blend I need to create a couple of duplicates, so Ctrl+C, Ctrl+F twice. Then I want to grab these two duplicates and paste it on new layer, and on my new layer I want to move it beneath and lock this layer with my first solid shadow, so we have these two paths, and I want to select this path beneath. As you can see, it's selected, it's pointed with this square, and I want to go to transparency and to decrease the opacity of this layer to the 0. If you can find your transparency panel, go to the windows, and here you can find your transparency panel. So we have two layers here. Let's select both of them and go to the object blend options, and here on blend options I want to choose the spacing as specified distance and set the value of specified distance to 0.4 pixels to create a very smooth shading. And then I want to keep these two selected. I want to Ctrl+Alt B or Command Option B to create a blend. So we have now a blend. Click on this chevron icon to open the blend here, and after, let me a little bit expand my layers panel, and I want you to select this bottom path, this transparent path inside your blend, and move it like here, like so. Let me move like so, and you can see our shadow is growing. I want to move like so, and as you understand, I want to move it until I satisfied with final result. Something like that, I think it's okay. And now I want to select all of this blend. As you can see, all of my passes inside my blend is selected. Go to my transparency panel and set the opacity to 30%. So decrease opacity to 30%, make it 70% transparent. We have this shadow, we have our solid shadow, and next step we need to make a clip mask. To make a clip mask for all of my artworks, for my blend shadow, for my solid shadow, and for my rod. And to do that, go to your rectangle tool, click on once to open the dialog box. I'm gonna size this rectangle to cover my artboard, so I want to 1920 by 1080. Click OK to produce a rectangle. I want to align it to artboard. As you can see, my option align to artboard is selected. Now I want to select both horizontally and vertically to the center, and as you can see, it's sitting on my first layer because all other layers is locked. And I want to create a couple of duplicates, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+F, and then I want to paste these duplicates on all of my layers with my rod and with my solid shadow. Then I want to simply select all of my layers, right mouse button click, and create a clipping mask. Then select my second layer from my bottom and make clipping mask with this layer, and select my top layer and make clipping mask here. So we clip all of our assets, our shadow, solid shadow, blend shadow, and our rod, and next step is to create a point. I think it's very easy task. First of all, grab your edit tool, hold Alt and Shift to create a circle, and I want to set this circle to this orange color. choose any color you want. Then I want to create a duplicate with Ctrl C, Ctrl F. Then I want to hold Alt and Shift again and decrease the size of this duplicate to around this. Grab my airdropper tool and select this white color. Then I actually want to change this color to gradient. Default gradient is okay. Then I want to make an adjustment a little bit for my gradient. First of all, I want to change the direction from top left to bottom right. Then I want to double click on my white color stop and increase the darkness of this to 5% gray. Then I want to double click on this left color stop and decrease the darkness of this to around 20%. So we have something like that. And then I want to produce a duplicate of this circle. Ctrl C, Ctrl F. We have this duplicate. Then I want to set my white 5% gray color stop to white, and my 20% gray, to white. And next I want to keep selected this final color stop, and I want to decrease the opacity of this color stop to 0%. As you can see, we can adjust the opacity here. And my last step, grab my delete anchor point tool or click minus and delete one of the points here. I choose the points on my right. Then I want to rotate my holding shift key on 45 degrees, rotate my shape, and then I want to a little bit adjust the direction of my gradient, so it's moving like that. So I have something like very subtle highlight here. And then I want to create, using my pen tool, create this triangle, set it to orange color. Then using Ctrl Shift left bracket, set it to back. Ctrl Y to open the outline mode. Here I want to place it properly. With direct selection tool I want to adjust the placement of this point. So I'm pretty happy with this result. Maybe I want to select both of them and go to my Pathfinder and unite them, this shape. Then I want to return to preview mode using Ctrl Y, Command Y. Well, I'm pretty happy with that. Then I want to grab my type tool and type 1, type a number, set this number to Navy's bold. Yes, it's kind of I want Navy's bold, and I download it from Font Fabric, type Foundry. So we have this kind of, maybe I need to enhance a little bit its appearance, adding some shadows and highlights, but make it like so. So next step is to adjust, clicking on the recolor artwork tool, go to edit and just drag this handle to recolor artwork, maybe a little bit greenish zone. Then I want to grab this handle with recolor tool and move it like so to create this result. Maybe a little bit just decrease the brightness, desaturate a little bit. So we have this kind of result. I want to adjust this these numbers, and we are ready to our next step. Next step is set up a background, this map background. Follow the link in the description and go to the OpenStreetMap.org. This is a very unique resource when you can grab all kind of maps, when you can share, embed, and here, as you can see, I can scale it and this is map of Britain, this is France, this is La Manche, and I want to scale it again to produce this kind of result. So as you can see, let me grab our streets. I here on some point of some city of Britain, and I want to share it. Click on this icon and use SVG, because SVG stands for scalable vector graphic, so it's by default it's vector, and I want to click on the load, and I have this arrow. The error is too busy. It's because if the error load is more than 25, it doesn't produce SVG files. We need to use another tool, and if you follow the next link in the description, and you can go to the bbbike.org. So I'm now in the instruct bbbike.org, and here I need to choose the format. In my case I choose SVG Google, then I want to provide my email address, name of this area, then I can adjust this area by double clicking and moving this polygon like so. I can adjust the anchor points of this area, and then click on this little icon extract and wait for around 10 minutes. Maybe I need to create a standalone tutorial for this feature. Wait for a while, around 10 minutes. They will send you a zip archive to your mailbox, and if you open this archive, you can see there are a bunch of files here, but we need this IE file, SVG file, planet with some coordinates, and when you double click and open this in Illustrator, you can see this Word result. We need to delete all unnecessary stuff here, and we have this kind of map. I also want to delete the stroke, and I want to grab this map, maybe group my result and place it on my layer. As you can see, it's sitting on the layer below all of my elements. Then I want to increase and use the clipping mask. So if you have any questions, please leave it in the comment form below. I want to thank you for following to the end. I will come back to you very soon. If you like this tutorial, please thumb up, subscribe, share it with your friends. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.